We are in the RV with my dear friend John Soberg from Blumberg Capital, mentor, advisor, and just a cool dude to hang out with. Back in Austin again in the RV.
Back here again, I know.
Reunion.
Yes,
we're gonna make this a yearly thing.
Every year we should do this.
Thanks for making time, John, to come and talk to our audience at ArabNet and the Middle East. Tell us a little bit of who you are. And about what brings you to Austin and what crazy things you've seen so far.
Well, it's always great to see you first, so thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, the RV thing is ours. It's no one else gets to do this. So I work at Blumberg Capital. We're an early stage venture fund. We invest globally, so it's probably one of the unique parts of my job. I joke that I have an office in San Francisco and on Lufthansa.
The motherland.
Because yes, I've got a lot of investments in Germany, and I was in Brazil earlier this year, so we're looking all over the world.
Tag along to be a translator. I speak German, so I was born in Germany.
I did not know that, but I will invite you to my next trip for sure.
Awesome. Maybe in your suitcase, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So I'm back in Austin. I think the South by Southwest is just you pretty much have to be here. This is where everything. There's just too much activity between.
Is it work? Is it a vacation, or is it like brutal, like painful? Like what is it?
Well, you can't call this vacation, but you also can't really call this work, right? I mean, I don't know. For me, I'm on a couple of panels this year. We've got a few events. There's always dinners. There's parties afterwards, as you know. You get to meet a bunch of cool people. That's not really work. Or if it is, it's great work.
It's the part that you don't get to sleep, you don't eat good food. Well, I guess some of the parties have good food, but you're constantly on the go. Last year, I checked on my Fitbit, I did like 20-something thousand footsteps, so you're cruising around.
Yes.
But it's insane. Like Al Gore was here yesterday, Elon Musk. I mean, some of the heavy hitters are here on panels and talking about really cool stuff.
One of the parties I was at last night was, I think, Ashton Kutcher and Mark Cuban were there. So it's not quite as big as Al Gore, Elon Musk, but
That's cool. And so, just really quickly, we want to tell the story about the RV. A couple years ago, we did an event with you guys in Intel Capital, and it was to come pitch you, David Blumberg, Aldo, Christine, 7 or 8 of you, and we had like 60 slots. And so 500 people had shown up, and Christine's like, what do we do with all these people? And I'm like, I have an idea. So we rented this RV, and that's where the idea was born. And we did ad hoc VC pitches where we tweeted out, people came and lined up. We had like 75 people lined up around the RV. And one of the companies, Mark, Appboy, was in the back talking to you and David and Lloyd from Accelerator. And literally, then we went to the Microsoft party, and 2 weeks later,
we funded that company.
And Mark's Iranian too, so I feel really involved. Like I'm like, hey, do I get some advisory shares or something? But no, that's what the story behind the RV is. And so thanks again for making time. What are your thoughts as far as South by? Is it still like a good place to launch? Is it kind of too much noise?
It's hard to launch here these days. There's so much noise. It's really tough to launch here anymore. I think it's you have to do something somewhat unique, and it's hard to do anything unique because everyone else is trying to do something unique as well. So I wouldn't say don't come down here and launch, but I think if you're trying to spend a lot of money as a startup down here, I'm not sure that I would advise that. I think ground game is probably more important here, and then I know a couple guys, by the way, just interestingly, that are launching next week. Post South by. And I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if I would do it before or after, but I think not during is not a bad idea.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that. So we just launched an Indiegogo campaign yesterday to fund some entrepreneurs, and I thought maybe it's just too much noise, and I should have done it afterwards and evangelized, and that's next year. That's what we're gonna do. Whatever it is, we're launching something.
Well, that you can do that, right? You can do a little bit of like you can warm people up. You could say, okay, something really, we're gonna launch something really cool next week.
The coolest thing I've seen so far, 2 days ago, it was raining, and Spreadfast, social media CRM company, was handing out those plastic wind ponchos. And I'm like, that's actually pretty smart. They probably spent like 10 cents, 20 cents on these things.
It is.
And they had logos and they're orange, very obvious. I don't know how it turned out because it stopped raining, but I guess for a minute you saw.
It's not a bad idea though, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So what's so far been the most interesting panel or kind of talk that you've seen where you're like, wow, this is actually.
I only got in yesterday, so I haven't seen that much yet. I think I'm looking forward to. There's a couple of good panels today. I missed Elon Musk's keynote yesterday, which, from what I understand, was the best so far. Cool. So, I don't know. I've met a few cool startups here.
Nice.
Always do. I think it's great.
And then, so when do you get pitched here too, or is it just more like social network?
As soon as somebody knows you're a VC, you get pitched here. It's like the RV.
Totally.
If you're standing at the bar and they find out that you're a VC, there's a line. Yeah, there's a line. Okay. So yeah.
So that's cool. So is your defense to that? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of cards.
That doesn't mean that they don't want to show you their solution, and that's cool. I actually enjoy that.
Create a system around that. Like again, we got to think of something. Next year we're gonna do something interesting.
Some other new cool system.
RV 2.0.
Right. Well, all right. Let's figure it out.
Awesome. So today you're also doing an event with Christine again. Intel.
Yes.
I get to be the bouncer. I don't know how I get nominated to be the bouncer, but
because you are a little bit, and you say no to people.
But it's not true. Like I always say yes. I tend to be helpful, and I'm never really bossy. But for some reason, she thinks that I am. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The model's changed a little bit. So you're not doing pitches. You're getting advice.
What we're doing this year is, instead of having people just pitch VCs, we brought in some high-level CMOs and some other like some founders and stuff like that can give advice to startups.
Super cool.
So rather than just kind of getting them in front of somebody who may fund them, which they are also doing at the same time, they can get advice from somebody who might be able to, that they might otherwise not be able to reach very easily.
Yeah, and that's 10 minutes of someone's ear, if it's someone that you want to connect with, is very valuable, because it could be the beginning of communication or a relationship. So I always love what you guys are doing, and honestly, by the way, David and I talked about this. You are one of the few funds that does international stuff, and so that's kudos to you. And do more. And David and I have talked about a couple companies already. So
all right.
I want to send you a bunch of them. So
looking forward sounds to that. Great.
Anyway, John, thanks for coming by.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Take care. Peace.